After a long while, we finally get some Goosebumps content that isn't news or me just talking about merchandising and stuff like that. We are now back, and thanks to, of course, Paparina, I actually get to talk about the Ghost Next Door. I forgot, I think I didn't really jump on the bandwagon, so when Squid Jib did it, I think I didn't get on that bandwagon, but now I am. So here we are with actually talking about the difference between the episode and the book, because the episode, well, it's just basically talking about stuff I didn't hear when I was listening to Squid Jib. They apparently must have rummaged through that fact and I didn't get it. Or, anyways, let's just talk about the 4 points I got. Number one is how the freaking family died. Now, in the TV show, they didn't mention anything. They just said the house caught on fire. But it turns out that in the book, you get a freaking damn deeper meaning. So in the book, it turns out that, and we could say it might have been Hannah's fault, but on the other hand, it just said the kids did it. So we don't really know if the twins did it, because it's like, oh, she missed her freaking friends. Let's make a fire and make it feel like she's actually at camp. So it could actually have been her freaking brothers being very sentimental and basically said, hey, she's missing her friends. Let's make a fire. And then there you go. Hannah, on the other hand, Hannah's like at least 10 or something. Chances are well, it's kind of weird you think about it. It's like, well, if Hannah did it, then she knows about fire safety, or she should, but damn. If the two kids did it, or the two brothers did it, then it means that, yeah, they definitely shouldn't have been playing with fire, but because it's, in quotations, an important thing that they're doing, they did it, and that's why it's like, oh, well, make sure you take out the fire, and they did, but sadly, since it's the two kids, the two little ones, they don't know exactly how to actually keep the fire actually out. So because of that, there we go. But of course, if it was freaking Hannah, then it's like, oh, damn, man, that's must the freak up. And I guess we'll just say it's the two kids, because if it's the two brothers, then it makes perfect sense because of why she's not guilt tripping, because technically she can guilt trip herself saying, man, if I didn't show my feelings about how I miss my friends and they're going to camp, then they would have made that fire in the backyard. But still, it's like, either way, technically she should feel very, very bummed out finding that fact out. Next is talking about the two brothers. I already talked about it. In the TV show, they didn't mention about anything of the two brothers at all. They didn't mention anything. All they mentioned is just a family, and that's it. And of course, we do have another thing I'm going to have to include, because I remember something about the episode. So the episode did a few things that is pretty interesting. So we have some episode exclusive things that I decided to do to it that actually kind of helped it. I think it might have helped it. Number one is the shadow being or shadow figure. In the book, which I didn't hear it, guess I must have forgot it or missed it or something. But in the freaking book, it turns out that the shadow figure, the shadow being, is actually Danny. It's Danny's future ghost. And of course, it's kind of funny. It's like, yeah, you gotta catch him on because he's Danny Phantom. It's like, for some reason, I definitely didn't. I most likely skipped it. I don't know. I just didn't make the comparison. That's weird. It's like, yeah, I got the Sixth Sense comparison, but man, whatever. So in the book, that's what it is. Is that it's Danny's future ghost or some kind of bullcrap. I'm not sure. And the TV show, they decided to say, no, that's not what's going on. There's actually something that's going on here where it's like corrupting her soul. Me personally, I thought it was kind of like an angel move where it's like she's here to do something. And when it comes to angels, it's like you're the only person who can see her. Just check out the Parkers and many other freaking TV shows that dealt with angels. It's like, it makes sense why Danny's able to see her, but no one else is. Makes perfect sense. And oh yeah, another note is that in the book, I think we didn't even get to go to the interaction with her mom, but in the TV show, we did have a little bit of something with her mom. I mean, something with Danny's mom. So that's something to keep a note about, is that they did touch upon it. Unlike in the book where it's like, oh, well, you just knocked on the door. That's it. That's it. That's all. It's like, yeah, no, actually going into his house and actually seeing his mom for herself. with all that said, it's like, yeah, so she's an angel, and the shadow being in the TV show is actually the other entity. Because, of course, angels have to deal with bad guys too. So, technically, we could say that the shadow figure was actually a demon who was like, well, I want to make you fail. You have this mission to save Danny, and you didn't even know about it until now. But yeah, I'm gonna screw over Danny, and I'm gonna try to corrupt your sorry ass too. It's like that makes perfect sense. It's like, yes, we have a yin yang problem here. And the yang is definitely not only trying to make Hannah freaking screw up her own mission, but he's making sure that the mission doesn't work. So I guess technically the freaking shadow figure was trying to screw up everything for Hannah and also turn Hannah evil. Something like that. Either way, the TV show is pretty good when it comes to that aspect. As for the book, yeah, that's an interesting twist, but you got a lot of explaining to do. As for the TV show, we also have Hannah playing the piano. That's one thing that we didn't actually get in the book. Pretty weird. I guess that's one thing that kind of Paparina skipped. I'm not sure if Skojib did. It's been a long while since I looked at the video. But yeah, I don't remember where it's like, oh, she saved them from the fire. And it's like, well, I guess she didn't mention anything about she has piano skills, so they had to switch it up so that when it came to him stuck in the freaking fire in the freaking house, she decided to play the piano so people can hear it. And it's like, oh my gosh, Danny, and just broke in there, saved him, saved Danny, and there you go. And then, of course, apparently this is an episode exclusive where she actually gets to see her family, and her family actually is like, you did a great job, sweetie. Time to come home. It's like, wow, that's just pretty cool. That's pretty damn cool. Of course, as you can, like I said, there was no brothers though. It was just a mom and dad and her. That's it. There's no brothers. I don't really understand what Goosebumps TV show really has against having more people in it. But of course, I guess paychecks had to be made and cuts had to be made as well. It's like, yeah, so why in the world would we have two twins or two boys here in the final scene if we could just get a freaking mom and dad, give them a quick paycheck? There you go. All done. uh, so that's basically it. That's really the interesting difference between the episode and the book. And it's kind of interesting that the book, yeah, like Paparina said, the book had something interesting to do. And of course, if they would have got rid of the whole Danny's dark evilness, the dark future ghost, and decided to do my idea, which technically the freaking TV show idea, where it's like, yes, it's an evil force. This evil force wants to corrupt Hannah and also wants to screw over Danny. It's like, that makes perfect sense. It's like, you have this bad guy bastard instead of, oh, no, it turns out that this is Danny, and yeah, he wants to freaking screw over. He doesn't even want to screw over Hannah. All he wants to do is just allow freaking Danny to die, and it's like, I am real. And it's like, how does that help you out? All it's going to do is just give you an astro form. That's it. What you going to do? Cause freaking damage and mayhem? Because I don't see any of that crap. You haven't done any of that crap to actually prove anything. You haven't done anything whatsoever to show that, oh yes, it's a bad news for me to come to life. All you do is just show that you're kind of a bad guy and, well, bad entity, and that's it. That's it. But yeah, I think technically the episode did it much better. It's like sometimes the episode did much better and improved on the book, and sometimes the book actually was the better option here. Which I think technically, again, the episode might have actually been a good idea. The book, however, it's decent. It's very, very decent. But yeah. But of course, there's one thing I do have to actually say that will actually start a nice thing of these videos is, here's the twist. The twist ending is the fact of, does that mean that in the movie, Hannah Stein, aka Hannah Fairchild, does that mean that we have the Pandora's box here? Where it's like, or technically, no, it's just the Pandora's box where it's like there's a good thing and a bad thing came out of. That's one thing weird about the freaking movie. It's like, okay, you have Hannah. Good. But along with the good part, shouldn't the bad part come out too? Meaning the dark entity should be here as well. That's the interesting part of where it's like, so the dark entity, we gotta address this. It's like, yeah, maybe Hannah, you can claim her as the monster, but on the other hand, I say a big fat man. I actually say, no, she's the good one here. Maybe there's two monsters here. Good monster, bad monster. And, well, the bad monster, where the frick is that freaking shadow entity? Where is that thing? Even though it's not really anything, but still, where is it? Where is it exactly? That's a good question when it comes to the movie. It's like, he wanted a daughter. I guess he wrote the book, even though again that's weird continuity. But even so, it's like he made the girl, and well, there's more things in the book than just her. So that's the real question: is when he wrote the book and released Hannah Stein into the world, does that mean that the shadow monster exists too? Does the shadow entity exist as well? And we just don't know where he is? And he maybe wrote another book to actually incarcerate that guy? Or what? That's the real question that we don't really have an answer for. Good luck with that.